Hello and welcome to Playing Favorites. I'm Paul.
I'm Justin.
Hello, Justin.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello. How you doing today? It's been a while. We're a little rusty. It's been a little bit since we've done this.
I know. And we're here today with a real specific purpose. We're gonna do a deep dive into a movie. We'll talk about that in just a second.
Mm-hmm.
But as always, this is the podcast where we pick something. In this case, we're picking a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But pick something and talk about our favorite things about it. Talk about our favorites all across a variety of topics, different categories. If you don't know what we do, check our back catalog and see all the favorites that we've reviewed already. But today, Justin, we're going to be reviewing the Mario Brothers movie from 1993.
Three? No, one?
What's it?
91?
91?
We did some 93.
Oh,
you're right the first time.
93. Okay, I thought it was.
I don't know why I thought 91.
But,
you know why I was thinking 91? Because I was looking up a basketball card I had earlier today that was from 91. That's why I said it.
Okay.
So blame Michael Jordan.
Interesting.
Blame Michael Jordan.
Oh, very nice. Justin, if people want to get in touch with us, how can they get in touch with us?
Well,
we like people to get in touch with us.
Go to our YouTube channel, give us a comment there. We are on Twitter or X, PlayFayPod, or at PlayFayPod. But you can find us on YouTube. If you're on podcast, you could go to YouTube. That's really the best way to find us. So Say hi. Let us know what you thought of this movie because it's a wild ride.
Yes. Let's make sure that we. I don't think there are really anything that you can draw similarities between this movie and the Illumination movie, the new one.
No.
I think there's very little.
No.
There might be one or two things, and that might be the names of the characters. Only two of them.
Maybe. They don't have the same outfits. I don't think that's a thing.
I got to tell you,
there were no dinosaurs in the animated movie either. So, except for King Koopa, I guess. I mean, I don't know.
Was Yoshi in the movie?
No, they hinted at Yoshi.
They hinted at Yoshi. Oh, what, did they show an egg?
At the end, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they like showing eggs. So I'm going to ask you some questions. That's a weird sentence. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Like showing their eggs.
We watched this movie. Let's tell the listeners and viewers at home. We watched this movie together. Technically, we watched it at the same time
through the internet,
just like on the phone. Yes, through the internet, we were watching it together. Boy, oh boy, did we laugh hysterically watching this! But I'm going to say it right from the get-go, buddy. This is not as bad as people make it out to be. There are far worse movies.
It's a bad Mario movie. Now, give it that.
Yes.
It's a bad Mario movie. Now, here's the thing I want to add to that. We watched this together, and both of us had not seen this movie since we were children.
Yeah, it came out.
I saw this in theaters. I might have rented it once after that. I might have watched it at home on VHS. I can't remember. But, I went to theaters, and, before we get into this, I loved this movie as a kid. I'll be quite honest with you. I know you didn't because you were skewed, I think, by your older brother. But,
I think...
So, I actually came out of this movie really excited. Come on. Back then, you didn't get any. It was the first video game movie, I think, that we ever had, right? I mean, I don't think there was any other video game movies.
From just a video game as the source material, I think so. I think it was the first.
I can't think of another one.
It is so crazy reading about how this movie got made.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And how it, it's amazing that they even had 90 minutes of footage in the end to cobble together. It was a real mess. Just a heads to tails mess. But I will say, I mean, there are a lot of characters in this movie. Some that you're familiar with, some that you are not, that are brand new to this movie. And there are some I wanted to ask you your opinion on some of these characters.
Okay.
I mean, you're familiar with some of these classic Mario characters like Lena, Sergeant Simon, Daniela,
Big Bertha,
Evo Controller, and Big Bertha. Don't forget Big Bertha.
And there's a prostitute character too. There's prostitutes
What's
too.
that?
There's prostitutes as
Oh,
well.
yeah, prostitutes. Yes, the prostitutes. Many prostitutes in this Mario Brothers movie.
Made for kids.
Hmm? Well, I don't know who this was made for. I don't even know if it was made for human beings.
I
Like,
mean,
the way
I
that
think it was intended to be made for children. I think that's what probably Nintendo wanted it to be.
Well, so on this subject of characters, and we've got a lot to choose from. Justin, who is your favorite character in the Mario Brothers movie?
I don't know.
I feel so weird saying that out loud.
You know what? I'm gonna be very obscure with my answer. I'm gonna pick the king. I'm gonna pick the king is my favorite character because trust the fungus, Paul. Trust the fungus.
Oh, okay. You're as fungus, not when he turns into
not as a human
at the end of the movie.
So that's actually anticlimactic. It's like that's the king. Like he's like
he's like perfectly clean too, and like well dressed after he like transforms from the slime.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, I'm back," and
that's it. You never see him again.
Nobody's even around to see him.
They don't even have a thank you Mario scene. It's like, hey, thanks Mario. It's like, here's
get out of here.
Here's a mushroom for your good deeds.
No, we'll get there. We'll get to the ending of this movie.
But no, I guess beyond that though, I'm gonna pick Toad. I actually really will enjoy Toad whenever Toad shows up. Because it's like
which Toad? Which version?
Well, no, the Goombahs version. I mean, he was more annoying as a human. I mean, come on,
because Toad in this movie is a dude with a harmonica and a spiral shaved haircut.
Yep. And then
harmonica.
He's so happy whenever he tries to help. I love when he's trying to give Daisy, because it's not Princess Peach, mind you, it's Princess Daisy. Because
yes.
I don't know why. Like, let's just go with the Game Boy version.
I don't think they knew the name. I don't know even if back then she was called Princess Peach. I don't remember.
Princess Toadstool. They called her Princess Toadstool.
That's right. That's what they used to call her, Princess Toadstool.
Yeah, because she's in the next class. So she's in the next castle.
So they just looked for where's another girl name? Oh yeah, Daisy. There we go.
Well, I wonder if they did Daisy, because now I'm curious. Now I didn't really look it up. It's like Daisy was the name of the Game Boy game, which would have been around that time, and maybe that was the only name they had, and they didn't want to call her Princess Toadstool. I don't know when Peach, I think, was 64, maybe.
I think that's because I don't think it was in Super Mario World. Anyway, so you're a fan of the Toad. Let's explain for the viewers at home.
I love when he comes in and tries to give her food, and he just keeps going yeah.
He's the nice Goomba. Yes,
constantly helping
because Goombas in this world are giant men with little heads, right? Little reptile heads.
I feel like I makes me think of Beetlejuice whenever I see him, like the end of Beetlejuice.
A little bit.
When he gets his head shrunk, a little bit like that.
There is definitely some Beetlejuice vibes there. I would say my favorite character in this is honestly Bob Hoskins. Like I don't even call him Mario. I think he's just Bob Hoskins in this movie. He's in no way, but he's a good plumber, and he's like, come on, we need this, and he showed plumbing skills, which I don't know why I appreciated that more, and they can clearly tell him and Leguizamo were kind of plastered through some of these scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Bob Hoskins in all yellow, just like Mario, right? All yellow suit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know how Mario is to dress in all yellow.
I mean, does he ever have a power where he turns yellow? I can't think of one.
Maybe the fire flower?
Not really.
Yellow and red?
No. Yeah. The star power, maybe? I mean, he's flashing kind of yellow.
Luigi does when they get into their fancy suits to go dance with Big Bertha, does Luigi have a red suit or a green suit?
No, it's a green and blue one.
No.
Oh, when they go dancing. That's pink. I think it's pink.
Yes. Not at the very end when they actually wear their lore accurate clothes.
Oh, okay. It's like Mario's wearing yellow, I'm pretty sure, and then he's wearing pink. I think it's very
something like that.
It's very
fuchsia,
not.
red.
It does not fit with the rest of the movie whatsoever. That's what I remember.
Dude, neither really does anything.
No, it's true. Well, so wait, what's your?
I was going to name some things, but really, this movie is
It's
held together by Elmer's glue. Like, really, it's
that's
very.
We were watching together. Like one thing we were saying when we were watching it. If you think about it, it's a well made movie. Like as far as like set pieces, sort of like just give me
sure.
You know, like it looked like a movie was made. It wasn't like this cheesy chintzy. Like, you know, you find it on this, shot
on video or something.
4 in the morning, like really bad budget. Like this movie looks like it had a sense of budget to it. I mean, I think they use half their.
Like it should be a movie.
They use like half their budget on just sparklers, though. I think so. Like
the sparks budget, man. There's so many sparks everywhere. Can we hold off on talking about the sparks?
Sure, we can go back.
It's one of my favorite things about this movie is the amount of sparks flying. And this is why like it appealed to us as children, I'm sure. It was just like, wow. It's like literally watching fireworks.
I don't even know how I
distract you from the story.
I don't even know how I got the story. I mean, there is a plot. Like I remember when we were first starting watching it, like the first setup part. It looked like a legit story. It's like, okay, plumbers, you introduce the protagonist, run into random girls. One of the plumbers gets kind of like, oh, I kind of like you. I'll help you out with your day. And they get kind
She's
of
an archaeologist, right?
Yeah, or a paleontologist.
Doing a dig in New York City. Like a paleontologist.
Yeah, she was looking for dinosaurs. But wait,
doing a dig.
But of course, that's all after the horrible intro of computer graphics intro animation scene.
Oh yes. It was like Saturday morning children's TV CGI animation from 89, 1988.
So bad.
It was unbelievable.
It was like Oregon's Trail.
I really thought it was gonna I really thought it was gonna be it was gonna pan out and be like a kid watching a video or something, you know, or like a kid watching a cartoon. Not like, oh, this is actually part of the movie.
I thought there was something wrong with the stream. Like I thought there was it was all glitched and stuff. Like I thought it was messed up because we were watching on we're watching,
so low quality.
We found this on because you can watch this movie for free on the archives, right? So we thought it was the internet glitching it. But after that setup of if the dinosaurs extinct and maybe they live somewhere else, I don't know. I think that's what that was about. The beginning of Daisy getting kidnapped and being brought into this other dimension. That could have been a perfectly fine setup for a Mario movie. I feel like that could have worked in a way. I don't think it was horrible, right?
Well, it's like they were trying to fit a square peg into a round hole because they kept trying to make this needs to be connected to New York City somehow. It can't just be like, oh, we fell into a dimension or some dimensional portal brought us to the Mushroom Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
No, it had to be this is. Did you know that there is an alternate? Literally, I'm doing what the voiceover at the very beginning of the movie, the narrator is saying. Did you know that there is because after the meteor hit, 2 dimensions were created, and one is our dimension. But if you walk through this shimmery rock, you'll get to the other dimension, which is where dinosaurs have never gone extinct, but instead rule. But weirdly, they all evolved into people, but all have reptilian ancestors.
Yeah, and then they steal.
Am I in the ballpark?
But then they steal things from our world somehow because they just use everything. They literally even have a city, a tower.
Oh,
yes,
they have the 2 towers. The New York City skyline, which did not age well, but yes, especially the part where the dimensions are merging and their ruined twin towers come into downtown into Manhattan. It's oh no, don't do that.
Well, they didn't know. You can't fault them for that.
No, they couldn't have seen the future, and this is the least of their concerns. But look, was there any favorite like action set piece fight or like chase or anything like that you liked in this film? Anything that stood out to you? I really like the car chase scene. I'm just gonna come out and
Sparkler.
say
Is that because of sparklers? Is that why?
There's lots of there's sparks everywhere. At one point, the car is like upside down. Is it upside down? No, it was just on top of another car. It was like Three Stooges level physics.
Yeah.
Of like this car chase. It was cartoony. It was fun though.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like a good car chase in a movie that wasn't Mario. Like if you put like we've watched some bad movies like either through Mystery Science Theater 3000 or like just in general finding things on TV. Like this looks like either at par of some of those movies or like a step above those as far as like cinematography of a car chase, which like it looked like a typical movie during the era that was made.
So if we're putting things on like a quality scale, like obviously to us, like the highest quality is like cinema, like movie level, direction, and then like under that would be like TV, like it's got some budget but not too much, and then below that is like the B movie, really just we've seen it like a lot of properties, IPs were just like let's rush and make a movie, and the movie is crap. It is like this, it has nothing to do really with the story, but like also the effects are bad and the production design is terrible and looks so cheap. This movie did not look cheap. I will say that. I feel like it tried to be a blockbuster, but
it looks like they crammed all their props into every scene though. Like it looks so condensed. Like there are shots in this movie like. I'll get to my favorite sequence, but like it literally like the cast. I think every member was always in every scene to a degree. It's like you feel like in like you remember like when they go through the dimension, which I'll talk about that in a second. I want to mention something about that. But like when they come in, it's like they don't even realize they're in another dimension because it just looks like New York City, and there's just people like bustling all around. It's like
just a lot more sparks than usual. Out of here.
But like it just like I remember like in like the office of King Koopa, like it looked like he just had just things just everywhere behind him. Like he just looked like he looked like he was like working. He was like in the back of Radio Shack or something like that. Like
just like all different kinds of wires and ports like hanging on a display behind him. No, you're right. It's like, is this your trophy room? Like, but for dinosaurs that evolve on a different path than ours, or like on a parallel path, there's nothing that makes them unique at all. They're just human beings with lizard tongues.
Yep.
Some of them.
And they like bathing in mud for some reason because it's clean and dirty at the same time.
Oh yeah. It's being clean and dirty. What was with Koopa's, by the way? What was with Koopa's OCD for being clean?
I don't know.
Like he's like every time he touched one of the humans, he's got the hand sanitizer.
I wonder if that was just Dennis Hopper trying to
like a character choice.
I don't know if that was it. Maybe I wonder if that was like I don't know.
Dennis Hopper. This is Dennis Hopper's own like. This is how my character would act.
I doubt it.
I
watched interviews on this with him. It's like I just was trying to get money. Like I really didn't care about this movie.
All right.
But my favorite favorite sequence, or action scene, chase scene.
Like, definitely the first time they used the jump boots, right? It's when they use the jump boots.
No, it's when Bertha runs away with the amulet in her like gigantic bounce of cleavage. And she like jumps over people, but it's like the longest jump ever. It takes forever.
Yes, with the jump boots. Yeah, she's just like
she's just floating in the air.
Straight out like
no one in Koopa Kingdom, Koopa City, Koopa Plaza,
Koopa Town.
No one seems to be aware that she's doing this thing either. It's like just a normal person jumping in jump boots. Normal day.
I guess it must be because her expression is completely blank too. Like she's flying through the air and just.
I mean, they had them like in stock at that one place. So I mean, I guess it's just a thing. You could just go.
Rent you some jump boots. Is it like
It's like a Segway.
You know what?
It's like a Segway in Koopa Town.
No, it's worse than a Segway. A Segway's got way more. It's like those not free cycles. What do they call them? Like city bikes. You know, you just go and you rent it. You know, pay for a couple hours.
But that sequence I really found extremely memorable. Was that whole thing, because none of the chase scenes, they all just seem like the same chase scene, like in my mind, like even though they weren't.
And the music is the same.
Yeah, music is the same, consistently good.
Music is the same. That was something you pointed out, like maybe even like 15 minutes into the movie. You're like, are they playing the same theme over and over and over again? Every time there was like a bit of action or a chase or a fight or something, it would be the same like whimsical somebody imitating Danny Elfman music.
But
not Danny Elfman.
The guy that composed it's Alan Silvestri. He does a ton of music. He does like a lot of movies. Like he's not like
unknown.
Yeah. I mean, back then maybe this is like one of his first gigs. Who knows? I didn't look that far, but
it sounded like.
And the music itself wasn't even like bad. It's not like it's like a bad composed thing. It just was consistently used to make every single thing they're doing like a comedic thing, like because you know what I mean. It wasn't like it wasn't fitting to like the action sequence or whatever was going on.
Exactly. That was something that I had read about. That was one of the things that they went and added back was more music to make it whimsical, to make it more geared for children. Because if you read any of that stuff, buddy, they keep calling you buddy. I don't know why. But if you read any of that stuff,
it's that whimsical music in your head. It's making you say buddy.
It was saying like this was not initially meant to be like a kid's movie. It was going to be a gritty, like kind of dark take on Mario. That was the original, and you can kind of see that still in the movie. But they went back and like during some of these things and reshoots, they added this like whimsical music to make it like it's
well that was like I think the director's fighting like because he wanted to make this. He didn't want to make a Mario movie, like really. He just wanted to make this like dinosaur evolution, like kind of like you know scientific satirical take on corporate obsession and guns and politicians.
Need to be a Mario movie.
Yeah, like I don't even know what he was trying to do. Because here's the thing, like we were thinking about like everything was gun based in this society, like like for a while.
That's right.
We didn't even notice it because they were like getting their they were getting a picture taken when they were like arrested, the Marios, and it's like
and it's like
their guns,
gun camera.
And then we had like King Koopa, like he just was constantly holding this gun at the pizza delivery guy, and we're like, oh wait, that's a laser pointer, it's not a gun.
It was like the remote control. It was the phone. And then he's like talking with the guy on the video screen, like pointing a gun at him.
And then because then Daisy goes up to like that portal panel thing, and she's shooting it to like pick the letters. Like it's almost like
their whole technology is pretty hilarious. It's gun based for a Mario movie.
So like the really true theme is that we're all really truly dinosaurs inside. And the dinosaur side of us, Paul, like guns. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, okay, like our reptile brain, our adrenaline, fight or flight kind of survival brain. Sure. Yes, we like... I want guns for everything. I want a gun blender. I want a gun...
And we like getting dirty but be clean at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. The way you made that look, I was like, I bet that feels good. If it's warm.
One thing we have any other questions about this film for me?
Yeah, I got a couple here.
Okay.
Just a couple quick ones for you. But, I mean, if you have something to say, go for it.
Well, I just wanted to point out, like, the cast of this film, like you said, Bob Hoskins, but, like, we were like, wait, we know that person. Who is that? Oh, we know her. Like it's like, there is some legit people in this movie, like Daisy, I don't think was anything else, but, like, obviously, Bob Hoskins,
Dennis
Hopper, Lena, his like Dennis Hopper's like assistant was Aunt Petunia from Harry Potter. But yeah,
yes, and she's in a ton of stuff. I ended up looking her up after we watched it, and she's been in a lot of stuff. She's very prolific. And John Leguizamo.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Anything, but he's a decent actor.
Yeah, and then even the King, you said you knew that person really well. I think Spike and Iggy, I think
Lance Henriksen.
Spike and Iggy have done a bunch of stuff too. I think I was looking them out.
One of them, the dude with like the bigger nose and ears. That dude, he's been in a lot of stuff. He's a character actor, and that's what it was. It was like the person who was the de-evolution coordinator, that like little guy who was like in charge of it. He's been in stuff too. So it's not like this was a movie of complete nobodies. You know, it's like, I wouldn't call this like star-studded, but it had some kind of like star power behind it. I mean, Dennis Hopper's pretty big at that time. Bob Hoskins and John Leguizamo.
I think he already had done Who Framed Roger Rabbit by that point, right? Because that would have already came out. So
I think that's why he was cast. Really, I think that's part of the reason why they pursued him. I don't think he auditioned for it.
I mean, he looks like he looks like a Mario. Like, I mean, that's the thing.
I think that's what they did. They were like looking through books of like actors' pictures and like, aha, Mario.
Yes, we need tall, skinny guy, John Leguizamo. There you go. I don't even know what else he had done by that point. I don't think I really knew him that well then. Like, he didn't. I don't know. Anyways.
Hey, so who was your favorite bad guy in this? Favorite enemy? Favorite bad guy?
I mean,
do you like Izzy and Spike because they eventually turned to good? they evolved like further and got their brains developed and became too smart for Koopa, and he wanted to eliminate them.
Yeah,
Which makes me wonder, why wouldn't Koopa just sit in it himself and evolve his own brain?
Maybe he did, and that's as far as he can go. I don't know.
Ooh, dis.
Yeah.
Dis. Ooh.
I don't know. So who would be considered a villain? Just King Koopa, Lena, and the Goombas? Like, is there any other villains in this movie?
Spike and Izzy. Are there any other like underlings to Koopa besides the two, like his nephews?
He had they had the police officer dude. He was one.
Yes, Sergeant Murphy. He was Sergeant Simon. He was one of my favorite. I'm going to say he's my favorite bad guy because he's just like, I'm just keeping the peace in Koopa Town.
Yeah, he's
cozied up to Koopa.
He's a good guy. He's a good guy to the people of Koopa Kingdom, and he probably isn't at all. I'll just say King Koopa. I'll make it easy. Obviously, I think Dennis Hopper. It just was. A lot of his lines are hilarious. We've already talked about the whole weird thing he did, but I don't know.
Wait, what weird thing did he do? What? Just remind me.
He'd be constantly being dirty all the time. That weird.
Oh
thing.
Yes. Always hand sanitizing.
But I don't know. He just his delivery and when he would say lines from this film, it just made me laugh because you could just tell he had no idea what was going on throughout the movie, but yet he did his best to be a villain. He just was Dennis Hopper the villain. You know what I mean?
He tried.
Yeah,
he did. He did. I think. I mean, it's commendable for anybody to get through a movie or any kind of job like this where they're just unable to really enjoy themselves, so they just do their best.
Mm-hmm.
Just do their best, try and make the most of it, get the project done, and maybe not necessarily be proud of it, but at least try their best to
Yeah, he was just a hardworking man. He worked really hard.
Did what they asked of me.
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't. You don't have to be a difficult to work with person. You'd just be he did what they asked him to do. What they asked him to do was crazy, though.
John Leguizamo, though, he just looked so freaking high the whole time. He just looked drunk and high at the same time throughout the whole time. I think there was just times I can't before we even start recording today. Honestly, I don't remember half the things in this movie, even though we watched it recently. It's it was such a blur. It was just such a blur of an experience. But
you know what kind of movie it reminded me of? It reminded me a little bit of J.J. Abrams' movies in that it's just a lot of stuff happening. Let's distract you. Let's not dwell on the plot too much. Don't worry about the plot. Let's worry about this. Let's look at this stuff.
J.J. Abrams,
another shiny thing,
but instead of lens flares, it's sparks. Got it. Okay.
And there's your connection. Oh, I love the sparks in this though. It's
So
like
funny.
it didn't take long for us to be like, where the hell are all these sparks coming from? Is Koopa Town a steel mill? Like I didn't get it. But all right. I've got a few more questions for you here. Obviously, we're not going through the whole plot of this movie because, first of all, we agreed that we don't think that even the people who put this movie together could decide on the plot.
I mean,
but
there is a
generally
plot.
speaking,
There is a
they're
plot.
saving the princess.
Yeah, I mean, it's about saving the princess and making sure they don't get this stone that no one knows. Big Bertha has like half the movie, so that's why everyone's just like running around aimlessly. It's like they do all this stuff. Yep, the little crystal thing. And then obviously it's to merge the things together. That's really it. But when it merges, only like select people go over when they merge.
What was Koopa's grand plan? Like once they did merge, were the rest gonna come? Like who goes first?
Well, he was gonna. I think they were gonna bring all their like de-evolution guns and just start shooting everybody and just take over. Because it was a population thing. They didn't have enough room because the place they were in.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
that was his motivation. He needed to find room.
Yeah, he honestly good leader. You know, he realized that they just didn't have the space, and you know, this other, you know, he was just doing what's best for his people. That's it.
That's right. That's right.
Obviously, the king wasn't that good at it.
So. No, he had to overthrow the king to do it. Yeah, it was justified.
Yeah.
I just want to know if you're looking at this movie now, because it's hard to put ourselves back in our own shoes in 1993 to watch it, other than remember like we were kids, and of course we enjoyed it because it was a movie, Super Mario Brothers. We didn't care about these things as, you know, like these things are like deal breakers for movies, like the property is not even barely used to make the movie, you know. But I mean, there's a lot of this movie that tries to be funny. It's not funny because it's like schlocky or
we laughed a lot.
Like too much for kids. But what was your favorite funny moment? And this, I'm assuming it probably unintentionally funny. But what was a moment that stuck out for you that really made you giggle?
Funny as an adult or funny as a kid?
Right now, can't do for the kid. But tell me, as an adult, what do you?
Honestly,
find?
Mario trying to like persuade Big Bertha to get the rock, and him like literally putting his face in her boobs to get the rock, and like
he's got great pickup lines.
Like
what did he like came up to her after she punched him, and he was like, the way your fist just, you know, destroyed my face, and the feel of your knuckles, and that's what like wooed her. Because he said he was her main man, her can of spam.
I mean, I would say that was funny. I mean, like I like Toad's. I thought Toad's little moments here and there were kind of like not like really funny, but like enough for like good comedic humor. I thought.
Did you like? I thought the fungus was kind of funny too, trying to like give them things at certain times, but for some reason, just they never got it until the very end. Only John Leguizamo.
Trust the fungus. Trust the fungus. I did think of one, but what's your favorite then? I guess what's your favorite funny moment?
Moment that made me laugh like the hardest, I think. Not only like the I remember. So when all the women are captured, all the prostitutes and Mario's girlfriend, which is kind of insulting, I'm sure, for Mario's girlfriend. Like, and Mario, Bob Hoskins, manages to like shimmy up onto like you know, on the roof there, or like on the ceiling, like on a scaffold or something, and he looks down and he gets her attention, and he's like, and she's like, "Oh, thank goodness you're here," and he's like, "Okay, shh," and then she like gets the attention. She was like, "Hey, my boyfriend's right here. Mario's right up there," and and the other girl looks and goes, "Hey, how you doing?" Like worst freaking like New York accent,
sure,
and just like blows it all up. It's just so stupid, just so just so stupid. We both busted out, but I don't know why that one just sticks out for me.
Did you like when they're trying to, where they tricked the goombahs to like they start dancing in the elevator?
Dance? No, I didn't understand. I was like, why are these things like that stupid that they just start dancing? Like it's like
I brought up this with a friend of mine, like that we watched the movie. He's like, "Oh, I love that scene in the elevator always makes me laugh." I'm like, "Really?" He's a little younger than us. I met him through work. Like he is a little bit younger than us. So I'll give him a little bit. Maybe he was at the moment when he watched it. Like maybe it hit him better than.
It's hard because there aren't very many memorable moments from this movie, but it's either that or when you finally see Koopa de-evolved and like whatever kind of
my memory of that is not what we saw. Like you know what I mean? Like
I know
I
have a better.
In my mind, I'm like he looked more like King Bowser. Like he looked like Bowser in my head. Like he didn't look quite like it. Like he looked not. He just looks like a really like a really weird looking dinosaur. And it was like
it was like a looking crooked teeth, weird. Not the kind of dinosaur. Not anything you would associate with either a dinosaur or Bowser.
Yeah, it looked like it's like a weird like slug with teeth. Something else. I don't know what else to describe this.
It was a very strange sock puppet. I'll just say that. Yeah, hand puppet. Okay. What do you think was? Because when you're playing a Mario game, you get things like fire flowers.
What's your favorite weapon?
Well, they don't get a fire flower per se in this. They do use guns. But is there actually like a Mario power? I was going to ask you what was your favorite Mario power, but I don't think there are any Mario powers.
The jump boots were a thing, and then he uses the mushroom kind of. It becomes like a shield.
That's right.
Yeah, yes. He turns the mushroom. He trusts the mushroom with his mushroom shield.
So I get the idea, like mushrooms, fungus, the mushroom kingdom, all that. In the game, he eats them. He eats them. And he gets their powers.
You think so? He doesn't actually show him eat them, but he just runs into it.
Are they trying to say that he's consuming in some way a piece of the king every time he gets big?
I don't.
Makes him feel like a big man, doesn't it?
Sure. I'm just gonna say Babam though is my answer. That's the actual answer. That's the true answer.
Oh, you know what? Because that's the only thing that actually looked like it came from Mario.
Yeah.
They didn't alter it at all.
They just really made it really tiny. And that's as we're talking, I'm like honestly, like I said, like my favorite action scene is the Babam just walking around. Like every time it showed me
that was tense towards the end, and then it falls down.
Yeah,
it goes through the cracks. That's you see, like that's a movie thing. That's like a cinematic move. Mm-hmm. You tell the story in this way, like they're in danger, but this thing's going to save them. The problem is, and it does help them in the end.
The problem is when he's doing the walking, nothing else is going on. Like they're just literally standing and doing nothing. Nothing's happening. Oh well, Lena's getting like fried by the meteorite thing because she's trying to do it. She's trying to open up the portal herself because that means that she'll have the power for some reason.
Yeah. Like, does it matter who does it? Yeah. Like, why does she want to do it? Is she going to go first? And be like, I'm super.
I'm saying the skeleton, like of her being on the wall, that made me laugh.
Yes, because her hair was still there. It was splayed out.
Her hair became a skeleton. Her hair became a skeleton.
Fossilized, if you will. But like, she turned into the Bride of Frankenstein, like big white stripe through her hair.
I just remembered this about the movie. Like, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Because I'm just thinking of Daisy for a second because she's in that scene. She was birthed from an egg. Like,
the whole beginning is of Daisy's mom running, away from somebody in danger and bringing this bundle and leaving it at the nunnery, at a convent. And then the nuns open it up, and instead of a baby, it's a fucking egg. And the nuns are just like, We will take care of this egg.
They actually showed it too. It's like the baby.
It did hatch. It hatched.
It hatched.
Hatched to a baby.
Man,
And
I don't.
well, you know what, Justin, it just hit me. They're nuns. They probably have no idea how babies are made.
Oh my god. No, they deliver baby. That's what nuns do. They give birth to baby. Anyways.
Some do.
I'm just so baffled, like, that I, like, am not, like, phased by this, and our parents just like, yeah, go watch this movie. It's PG. Whatever.
It said suggested for parental guidance.
Why it's PG, I don't know. It's weird, man. It's weird.
I mean, yeah. What was, I guess, if I think we're ready to wrap this up a little bit here.
Absolutely.
Because there's really nothing more to say about this. I feel like the biggest thing we could tell people if they were watching, if they were thinking about watching it, the answer is definitely watch it.
Yes.
And especially since you can watch it on the Internet Archive for free, you should. And secondly, it's because it's not, if you ignore the fact that this has anything to do with Mario the game, as a movie, it's not the worst. And there are some moments that are legit funny.
Yeah.
That's
and
the best
honestly,
we can do for you.
My favorite, because we usually do like what a favorite moment, right? Like at the end.
I was just going to ask, what was your overall like favorite moment?
Honestly, Yoshi. Yoshi was a freaking awesome animatronic. I have to say.
Oh,
I think they handled Yoshi really well.
That looked really good.
Yeah.
If that was an animatronic thing, because it couldn't have been a dude in a little suit.
Yep. Sparks and animatronics. That's all we were good at.
Like there was some money behind this.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Yoshi, it's more like a little baby friendly velociraptor. And he actually has like kind of a story a little bit.
It's so sad, really, actually.
With Princess Daisy. And it's good that like they end up together kind of in the end. Like he's gonna stay with her and she's got a Toad. It's like, yeah, she's gonna be all right. And
no,
sure.
I think they handled the animatronics really good. They put all the money into that, I guess. I don't know why, but do you have a favorite moment?
A lot of money went into that. Favorite moment overall. I'm really trying to plumb the depths. I like, my favorite moment for sure. Towards the end, after they've defeated Koopa. Is it Koopa or Bowser? What do they call him? I think it's Koopa.
Yeah, it's King Koopa.
I think it's King Koopa.
Did they not really call him Bowser?
Nope.
I don't know when they started calling him Bowser. It was later on, I think.
Yeah, so my favorite part is when he shoots the other rival plumber business owner.
Spadoni? Is it Spadoni or?
Yes, it's some name
something like that.
Bob Hoskins would say over and over, and then Spirelli.
Scapelli, maybe, or something like that.
Scapelli, yep, something like that. Yes, I think it is Scapelli. Scapelli. But yeah, my favorite. I do enjoy when Scapelli gets turned into a chimp, de-evolved into a different species.
The true villain of the film is Scapelli. That's the true villain. It's right there.
He was the true villain. He did awful things. He like threatened Daisy. At least Koopa's like, I just want more room for my people. Like that dude, that's who needed the comeuppance. That's why I was glad.
He's only stealing
I really can't pick out.
He's only stealing some prostitutes. I mean, that's not the big.
What I just have to say, like this was hard to find anything of merit to like really like about this film.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say my favorite part about it was watching it with you, and actually getting to laugh at these things out loud.
It's a good time.
Very good.
It's a good time.
This is something like if you like a nice a drink on occasion, get yourself a nice drink, get a buddy, and watch and just enjoy and just let it. I mean, I would eat an edible an hour before I'd watch this movie, and then just let my brain
Just
absorb it.
Trust the fungus.
Trust the fungus.
Before you
Maybe it makes more sense. Maybe you'll be a little bit more forgiving if you watch it inebriated. But I think the real heroes in a movie like this are all the parents that brought their kids to see this and sat through it. They are the real MVPs, Justin. They're the real MVPs.
My parents didn't go with me, so I can't say anything about that.
No. Anyways,
on
that note, I think it's good. We've been enjoying doing such good movies like the Lord of the Rings movies, and we took it a little bit of a side turn.
It's worth it. It was worth it. I'm glad we did it.
It was. I'm glad we did this. I'm glad that we finally put it to rest that this movie is not as bad as people make it out to be, first of all, but also it has very little to do with Mario. So if you're not a Mario fan, then you probably would find nothing wrong with this. You just think it was like,
a Mario
cool,
fan. If you're a Mario fan, you've already watched it, probably, to be quite honest, because you're like, you were curious. So
if you were of a certain age.
You know what? If you haven't watched it since you were a child, watch it again. That's what I would say.
It's definitely like seeing is believing. You gotta just watch it again to really put yourself back in those shoes and say, did I really like this?
Yeah.
I guess.
But anyways.
All right, man. This has been another episode of Playing Favorites, diving deep into a movie that not many people probably really enjoy.
If you enjoyed our conversation, please like, subscribe, give us a comment. What did you like about this movie? And
yes, do you like this movie?
Yes. Let us know.
Are you going to defend it? Yes. And as always, you can find us at PlayFave Podcast on X. And yeah, hit us up on our YouTube channel. That's where you'll see the most of our stuff. Please check out our back catalog. And as always, signing off, I'm Paul.
I'm Justin.
Have a good one.
And now we're recording again.
Okay, there we go. 3, 2, 1. I'm sorry, I'm gonna start over because you just got like washed out by your light.
Oh, yeah, I pulled up a screen.
I just watched it, like kind of trying to roll with it. Yeah, for real.
That was being de-evolved.
You good? Yeah.
Okay, now that part's gonna be a bonus thing at the end of this episode.
Good. Nice. That's you getting de-evolved.